Welcome back, gang. We're here again with another video, and in today's video I would like to go over the MMXM Traders Asian Session Model. AUDJPY will be the pair that we will be using to break down the trade. Okay, starting off, now I have a visual of the 4-hour chart on AUDJPY, and to begin, we have a run on buy stops here that broke structure, creating a market structure shift, running this low, and as well as taking out the sell side liquidity resting below here. And after we did that, we created a 4-hour dealing range from this swing high to this swing low. After we created our swing low and identified our dealing range, price retraced into premium of the dealing range inside of this 4-hour bearish fair value gap that was respected in time. As you can see, the candle bodies staying inside of the gap and not closing above it, which then led to price creating another stop hunt run here that displaced, breaking lower, rerunning this sell side liquidity pool low here. Now, after price ran this low, we had another dealing range that I identified from this swing high to this swing low. And we retraced into an OTE, optimal trade entry, of this dealing range. And we traded into this 4-hour bearish order block. And as you can see, the candle bodies were respecting the order block as well as the mean threshold of it. So I'm already anticipating a continuation lower after a retracement into OTE and tagging this 4-hour order block that is also inside of the 4-hour bearish fair value gap that was respected before. So now this is where the Asian model comes into play. So the MMXM trader was introducing to us that the reason he uses Australian dollar and the Japanese yen is because the markets open and they cross and intertwine, creating a volatility injection at the start of 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is our time window that we will be looking for a M15 stop hunt, which can be used as a turtle soup entry. But personally, for me, I don't like entering on turtle soup entries because I would like to have more confidence in the trade, and I would like for price to displace in the opposing direction after we get that buy stop run. So given our bias that we had on the 4-hour chart, I'm looking for the high to be run at 8 o'clock or anything past 8 o'clock to create a turtle soup or a buy stop run here to then displace lower, breaking structure to give me identification that we are going to be seeking lower prices. And as you can see here, past 8 o'clock open at 8:30, we ran our buy stops. So now all we will be looking for is, will price continue to push higher, negating our model and not giving us an entry opportunity, or will we displace lower, breaking a significant swing low, closing below it, identifying a market structure shift for us to then identify and seek a potential entry. Now, here is what I have been incorporating within the MMXM Traders Asian model, is adding quarterly theory for extra confluence. And as you can see, I'm using the 90-minute cycles. I identified quarter one from 1800 to 1930. That was our accumulation phase. And then 1930 to 2100, that is our Q2, which is our manipulation, and that is past 8 o'clock, which gives us our stop hunt, and then provided a shift in market structure, closing below this M15 significant swing low. And we were also entering quarter three of the 90-minute cycle, which is our distribution phase, which is what we look for price to then continue and distribute lower, attacking any sell side liquidity pools below. I then measured the manipulation leg from this swing low to this swing high, and I projected price lower for an additional target of 2 to 2.5 standard deviations. Now dropping down to our M1 chart and looking inside of that quarter three 90-minute cycle, I narrowed it down to the microcycles, identifying an XAMD, because remember, quarterly theory is fractal. So I split the 90-minute cycles into 4 quarters, and now I'm waiting for price to retrace into premium of the swing that displaced after the M15 minute stop hunt. And as you can see here, we had price retrace into premium of that M15 swing that displaced and broke structure. We had our X phase of the microcycles. We had price accumulate during quarter 2, and then quarter 3 we manipulated Q1 and Q2's highs that also tagged an M5 breaker block. And I brought it down here in a screenshot. As you can see, this is the M5 swing that manipulated price and then continued to break structure lower. And I drug out the last down close candle, brought it out in time, and our stop hunt occurred in the Q3 of the micros. So this here could have been the entry short to take out any significant sell side liquidity pool low, and eventually that 2 standard deviation that I mentioned earlier before. Now here is a much more clearer view. I identified a sell side liquidity pool that we could have easily targeted that was resting at the low from Q1's accumulation of the 90-minute cycle, and I have my stop loss resting above the M15 stop run that occurred during Q2's manipulation. So I have my targets for Q1's low. I have 2 standard deviations also for a target, and I have a comfortable stop loss because I know that we had our stop run and then we had price displace and we reached premium of that M15 swing that broke structure. And the extra confluence is that we had price manipulate the microcycles Q1 and Q2 highs, tagging the M5 breaker block. So now all I would just do is sit back and wait to see if price goes in favor of my direction to my targeted liquidity pool. And as you can see, we took out the sell side liquidity pool resting at the lows from Q1's accumulation of the 90-minute cycle. And if you did enter here and took out the full position, you would have had a 2.72 R if your stop loss was resting above the stop hunt and taking full profit here, or if you wanted to take partial here, like 80% of the position off and put stop loss at break even and then let the remainder run to 2 or 2.5 standard deviations, that would have been completely fine too. Now here is the extended result of us reaching our finalized target of 2 standard deviations, and at 2 standard deviations is usually where I would typically take off the final bit of my position, where I would leave it running lower to a lower end resting liquidity pool. But during the Asian session model, all you really want to be doing is looking for low-hanging fruit objectives, and it's primarily used as a scalping method for quick and fast, easy trades. And as you can see, the delivery from the M5 breaker to that resting liquidity pool during the 90-minute cycles Q1 accumulation low, that was a very quick and easy trade within probably 15 minutes. Also, guys, if you want to check out my Twitter, I have plenty of examples, as you can see, of my trade breakdowns of MMXM Trader's Asian model, also incorporating Day's quarterly theory. So big shout out to him as well. That is the extra confluence that I've been adding into the model. But you can go check out my Twitter. I'll have it linked in the description of the video for all the examples that I have also displayed and shared. But big props to the MMXM Trader for letting me introduce this on YouTube, and it really is a hidden gem. It's slim to no bias on the higher time frame. All you need to be looking for is the M15 stop hunt and then price displacing in the opposing direction and targeting a low-hanging fruit liquidity pool in either buy side or sell side. He also has a course that goes over this in much more in-depth theory, and I will be linking his Twitter below, and you'll be able to see the access point to it in the pinned tweet of his Twitter profile as well. But thank you guys again for watching this video. If you stayed to the end, I appreciate you greatly. I hope these videos and these trade breakdowns help tremendously. If you are interested in trading with me live and watching Asia session as I go through it with my Discord, I'll also leave the link to the description of that. I'll also leave the link to that to gain access below in the description of this video. But please leave any suggestions for any future videos. I will be posting every single Wednesday and having them uploaded between 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But anyways, I will catch you guys all next week.